Hey, welcome to the sixth episode of this fucking stupid, shitty podcast. It's been like over a month since the last one, and the ratings for this show have been just god awful. And I couldn't even get a sponsor for this fucking episode because it's just been so bad, man. So you're not going to hear any like '90s commercials in this one or anything. But yeah, man. I mean, I'm fucking drinking right now, and I'm cracking open my fourth tall can actually. So I'm already getting a good buzz on here. So it's gonna be a fucking good podcast. Oh yeah, probably not. I don't know. So what's going on with me? Thank you for asking. I fucking just finished my work week, and I got back from the gym, and I was fucking doing some deadlifts today. It's been like over a month since I've done any deadlifts, but I was still able to lift fucking 315 off the ground, which isn't too bad. But my grip strength really has gone downhill. I noticed. But yeah, so I got to get back on that shit. But let me take a nice swig of gear here. What? What the fuck did I just say? Let me take a nice swig of beer here. My speech is already starting to be compromised, unfortunately. But yeah, let me fucking take a nice swig. Anyway. Yeah, man, I just finished my work week, and it was my first week back to work. I was on suspension for like 2 weeks. That sounds worse than it is. It was just my security license expired on my birthday, June 30th, and it wasn't renewed yet. My application was sent back a few times, so it was delayed. But I got a nice 2 week vacation, which I enjoyed very much. I wasn't paid for it, but it was still nice. It was nice to relax, so that was good. And yeah, man, I'm a fucking old man now. You know, turned 32 a few weeks ago, so I started ordering some canes and some walkers on Amazon. So I'm just waiting for those, so that'll be good. Yeah, man. But speaking of my job, I understand like a lot of people don't respect security guards, and I'm totally okay with that. I get it. I understand. We're just stupid rent-a-cops. It's fine. It's fine. It's okay. I get it. But it's weird to me when people start like talking shit to me about my job. Like, your job's stupid. Get a get a fucking better job, faggot. Fucking loser. That's weird to me because like I actually like my job. This is the only job that I've ever had in my life that I actually like. Because it's pretty fucking chill. I just basically just get to sit around all night and hang out on the internet, and they pay me for that. They fucking pay me for that. I can take naps. I can go to the bathroom and jerk off. It's like, it's so freeing. I have a lot of freedom with my job, so it's really nice. Of course, the fucking pay isn't very good, but that doesn't really matter to me. I've actually saved up a lot of money because I'm a fucking loser and I live with my mommy, so I don't really have to pay rent. So you'd be surprised how much I have in the fucking bank right now. But I'm not bragging. I'm not bragging. Let me take a swig of beer. Anyway. I'm not sure what else I have to say here. Well, I mean, like, this is probably going to be a bad analogy, but it's like when someone talks shit to me about my job, it's like imagine I'm in my room and I'm getting a nice blowjob, right? I'm getting good head, and then some asshole just like breaks the door down, and he comes in and he sees me getting head, and he points and laughs. He's like, "That's the blowjob you're getting? What a fucking loser! That blowjob sucks. The blowjobs I get are better." And I'm just there like getting head, and it feels really good. And I'm just like, okay, well, fucking go away then. Go get your blowjob, faggot. I don't know. That's an awful analogy. I know. It's okay. It's okay. Anyway, if you're a regular listener of this podcast for whatever reason, then you know by now that um, my fucking supervisor Chris is constantly late, and I've already confronted him twice about this shit, and I recorded those and I put them on the podcasts. And today I actually had the third confrontation with him. And it went really well. It went really well. So basically, I'm finishing my shift. Of course, he's late again, and I see him drive in to the parking area. So I go to the back room to change quickly, and I set my phone to record the third fucking confrontation. And then Chris arrives at the desk, and I approach him and I say, "Hey, Chris, can I talk to you in the back room for a second?" He's like, "Okay." So we go to the back room, and we had a pretty chill conversation for the most part. And I made it very clear that his constant lateness was a fucking problem and it needed to change. And he agreed, and he said he was gonna, start fucking leaving for work earlier to fix that. And yeah, like I said, for the most part, it was pretty chill. But I also did threaten to tell our boss about his constant lateness if it was to continue, because this is the fucking third time I was bringing this up to him, right? Anyway, so it went well, and as I was leaving to the subway station, I was trying to fucking listen to the clip, and lo and behold, I didn't record a goddamn thing, which was really unfortunate because it went really well, and I was looking forward to putting it on the fucking podcast. But basically, what happened was after I hit record, I put my headphones into the jack, into the fucking phone jack, and apparently that fucking causes the fucking recording to stop, which I didn't know. But I feel like I should have known that. I should have known that. I should have checked. So it was a really dumb move, and it sucked because this was definitely the best one. I had him in the back room. There was no distractions. The audio was good, I would imagine, even though I didn't hear it. But there was no fucking loud music over us or anything. And it really sucks. I didn't fucking get to record it. So instead, how about you guys just fucking look at some fucking pictures of Chris that I stole off his Facebook while I put some silly music over it. Enjoy. Anyway, now that that shit's over with, let's just move on to our first real segment here. I know what you guys want to hear me talk about. You guys want to hear me talk about anal cunt, right? Yeah, I know. Many of you might not even know what anal cunt is, so I'll just educate you here. Let me take a nice swig of beer. Oh yeah. Anyway, I'm on Anal Cunt's Wikipedia page here. Obviously, I'm not going to read it all. I'm just going to get to the meat of it. But Anal Cunt, also known as AC, was an American grindcore band that formed in Newton, Massachusetts in 1988. From its inception, the band underwent a number of lineup changes. Known for its grindcore musical style and controversial lyrics, Anal Cunt released 8 full-length studio albums in addition to a number of compilations and extended plays. Anal Cunt disbanded in 2011 after the group's founder and frontman, Seth Putnam, died of a suspected heart attack. Yeah, man. So let me scroll down through this page here. Style and controversy. Anal Cunt's style had changed much since 1988, as originally they formed as a noisecore band before incorporating elements of grindcore and hardcore into their style. Songs in the early years were often no more than a few seconds long. Their 5,643 song EP being an extreme example, although this later increased so that the average song length was between 40 seconds and 1 minute. The typical Anal Cunt song was short and loud with extremely distorted guitars played randomly up and down the neck, near incomprehensible screaming and blast beat drumming. Some songs show influence from punk rock, power violence, doom metal, and sludge metal. Lyrics. Anal Cunt were often cited as having common lyrical themes that include misogyny, homophobia, Nazism, anti Semitism, racism, and ridicule of the unfortunate. Oh, fuck. Although this has not always been the case. Many of these songs included insults, either general or specific to one person. The album I Like It When You Die developed the idea of containing insults in their songs, with a recurring song title being X is Gay, with examples including You're Gay, Technology's Gay, Recycling is Gay, The Internet is Gay, Wind Chimes Are Gay, and even the word homophobic is gay. Another recurring song title is You X, with examples including You Own a Store, You Live in a Houseboat, You Are an Orphan, You Go to Art School, and You Keep a Diary. A quick footnote here. I actually think that You Keep a Diary, it's probably my favorite Anal Cunt song, I would say. Yeah, yeah, I think so. The band even parodied this theme with the songs You Fill in the Blank and I'm an Anal Cunt. The 1999 album It Just Gets Worse took the idea of intentional offense a step further, with more extreme examples of racism and sexism. Examples include You're Pregnant, so I kicked you in the stomach, I Lit Your Baby on Fire, and Women, Nature's Punching Bag. The lyrics to two of the songs on this album were altered, and one of the songs on this album had its name changed from Connor Clapton committed suicide because his father sucks to Your Kid Committed Suicide because you suck. Because they were working for a record label in Britain where libel laws were very stringent. It was also on It Just Gets Worse that the band began to include references to the Holocaust in their songs, including I Sent Concentration Camp Footage to America's Funniest Home Videos. This theme of seemingly glorifying Adolf Hitler and his actions continued on their subsequent EPs with songs such as Hitler Was a Sensitive Man, I'm Hitler, Body by Auschwitz, I Went Back in Time and Voted for Hitler, and Ha Ha Holocaust. Another common lyrical theme in the band's material was that of insulting other bands or music in general. Such examples include the song titles Limp Bizkit Think They're Black But They're Just Gay, Anyone Who Likes the Dillinger Escape Plan Is a Faggot, and 311 Sucks. Next to this offensive material, some of their other songs were deliberately much more lighthearted, which was done to self-parody. This includes the satirical Picnic of Love album, and also covers of songs completely different from their style, including Can't Touch This, Staying Alive, Escape, Electric Avenue, the theme from Three's Company, You're Gonna Need Someone on Your Side, Hungry Hungry Hippos, and Just the Two of Us, as well as their karaoke rendition of the Steve Miller Band's song Abracadabra, intended as a cover of Sabracadabra. Criticism. Critic Steve Huey called their album Morbid Florist, quote-unquote, barely listenable. In one interview, Seth Putnam admitted that they had sent material to publications they knew would hate it, just to get bad reviews. Yeah, man. Let's read up a little more about Mr. Seth Putnam here, the founder of Anal Cunt, who has since died in 2011. Seth Edward Putnam was an American musician who was the founder of grindcore band Anal Cunt. He was known for his high-pitched screamed vocals and lyrics that either shock, offend, or invoke morbid humor. Throughout his career, Putnam had also been involved in several side projects, One of the more notable ones was the racist grindcore band Vaginal Jesus. There were uncertain rumors as to whether or not he was a member of Vaginal Jesus, originally saying he was just friends with the band. However, he later retracted this claim and publicly admitted to being a member in an interview found in the white power music magazine Resistance. Wow. Early years. Putnam was born on May 15, 1968 in Newton, Massachusetts, to Father Edward R. Putnam and Mother Barbara Ann Donahue. His parents are divorced. Seth was married to his first wife, Allison, from December 1998 through June 2001. He married Julie, his second wife, in 2008 in the mid-1980s. Putnam played bass in the thrash metal band Executioner. Despite his shock humor and turbulent lifestyle, Putnam was often described by fans and peers as a warm, intelligent, sensitive man. Putnam saw himself as a comedian and used music as an outlet. You know, I actually find that quite relatable. But anyway, in school, classmates who knew Putnam described him as an intelligent and stern but unmotivated, apathetic, and often an underwhelming student. Putnam skipped a grade in school and became a very bright student, tutoring his fellow classmates. He learned to fight people and receive violence from a young age. In his own words, Putnam often blamed brutal fights with Catholic school nuns for helping to shape his cynical personality. When he reached high school, after 8th grade, he had lost interest in excelling in education or academics, becoming more of a slacker and underachiever. By the time he had graduated school, Putnam had left the Catholic religion in which he was raised. After graduation, Putnam showed no interest in attending college or university. Drug overdose and coma. In October 12, 2004, Putnam was hospitalized after ingesting a cocktail of crack cocaine, alcohol, heroin, and 2 months' worth of Ambien sleeping pills. It has been reported that he spent the previous day contemplating suicide, though exact circumstances surrounding the drug overdose are vague. Anal Cunt's 1997 album I Like It When You Die contained the track You're in a Coma. Putnam's reaction to the resulting irony of being in a coma was published in the Boston Phoenix. So this is a quote from Mr. Seth Putnam. He says, "Actually, it turned out it was just as gay as the song I wrote 9 years ago. Being in a coma was just as fucking stupid as I wrote it was." Anal Cunt kept performing the song during live shows after the coma, with Putnam sharing anecdotes with the audience before the song. Yeah, man. Feud with Chris Barnes. There had been friction between Putnam and 6 Feet Under vocalist Chris Barnes. According to Putnam's defunct website, Putnam heckled Barnes during a 6 Feet Under set, leading to an altercation between the two, ending with 6 Feet Under's roadies ganging up on Putnam while Barnes fled to his tour bus and hid there. Putnam released the song Chris Barnes is a Pussy as retaliation to the incident. According to Putnam, in an interview with Capital Chaos TV several years later, 6 Feet Under went out of their way to avoid playing in the same city as Anal Cunt several years after the incident. Putnam stated, "I guess Chris Barnes is afraid of me." Despite the feud, Putnam stated that Murdered in the Basement was his favorite song by 6 Feet Under. Death. On June 11th, 2011, Putnam died of a suspected heart attack at the age of 43. Putnam's grave is located within Newton Cemetery in Newton, Massachusetts. Yeah, man. And, my buddy on Wire Club, Mr. Goodman, he sent me an article here about Anal Cunt's former guitarist who actually recently died. So it says Anal Cunt guitarist Josh Martin dies at 45. Josh Martin, longtime guitarist for Massachusetts grindcore band Anal Cunt, has died at age 45. According to reports from WPRI, Martin was identified as the man who plunged off the upper level of the Providence Place Mall in Rhode Island to the food court below after falling off an escalator on Monday, May 28th. Martin joined the long-running thrash band in 1996 and performed with them until 2001, re-upping in 2006 until the group called it quits for good in 2011 after more than 20 years following the death of founder-singer Seth Putnam from a suspected heart attack. Always up to offend, the group had an anarchic core from its early days that included improvising lyrics and purposely playing songs with no discernible beat or melody. They reveled in releasing offensive albums such as 1997's I Like It When You Die. Martin's first recorded appearance with AC, which blitzed through dozens of sub-1 minute songs such as Jack Kevorkian is Cool, You Got Date Raped, Wind Chimes Are Gay, and You're in a Coma. WPRI reported that Martin fell off the escalator around 10:45 p.m. on Monday and suffered severe head trauma, later dying in a hospital from his injuries. A witness told police they saw a man, quote-unquote, clowning around and riding the rail of the escalator at the mall's theater level. And when the man reached the downward slope of the handrail, he fell backwards off the rail and hit his head on a table in the food court below. Officials are treating the incident as an accident with no indication that Martin was pushed or jumped on purpose. Vanyaland reported that it had confirmed with Martin's friends that he is the man who fell in the mall accident. A Facebook page attributed to Martin said he had been living in Pawtucket, Rhode Island at the time of his death. Billboard was unable to reach a spokesperson for Martin to confirm the details of his passing at press time. Martin and Putnam performed together in a number of other side bands, including the acoustic black metal group Impaled Northern Moonforest and Adolf Satan. And Martin most recently performed in the Boston trio Failure Clinic. Yeah, man, what a way to go. Fucking falling off a fucking escalator. Just smashing your head on a food court table. Jesus. Rest in peace, sir. Anyway, I would like to read some song titles from Anal Cunt's most offensive album. But just please note that these song titles are very offensive. And you might be offended. I don't know. Fuck. Skip over it. Anyway, I became a counselor so I could tell rape victims they asked for it. Eazy-E got AIDS from Freddie Mercury. I like drugs and child abuse. Laughing while Leonard Peltier gets raped in prison. I convinced you to beat your wife on a daily basis. I sent concentration camp footage to America's Funniest Home Videos. Rancid sucks and The Clash suck too. I paid Jay Howell to rape you. I pushed your wife in front of the subway. Extreme noise terror are afraid of us. You rollerblading faggot. I sent a thank you card to the guy who raped you. I lit your baby on fire. Body by Auschwitz. I intentionally ran over your dog. Sweatshops are cool. Women, nature's punching bag. I snuck a retard into a sperm bank. Your kid committed suicide because you suck. I ate your horse. Hitler was a sensitive man. You robbed a sperm bank because you're a cum-guzzling fag. I made your kid get AIDS so you could watch it die. I fucked your wife. Into the oven. You know, just a quick side note here. For years, I actually thought that Into the Oven was about the Holocaust. I mean, with Anal Cunt, you would assume that's what it was about, right? But then I actually fucking read the lyrics, and like it's a fucking sick joke. Like, I guess it's actually about fucking Thanksgiving. Like, it's literally about putting a turkey into the oven. It was like a pleasant surprise. I was fucking laughing my ass off reading those lyrics because it was so unexpected. Anyway, I gave Nambla pictures of your kid. The only reason men talk to you is because they want to get laid, you stupid fucking cunts. I made fun of you because your kid just died. Domestic violence is really, really, really funny. Dictators are cool. Deadbeat dads are cool. I'm really excited about the upcoming David Buskin concert. Being ignorant is awesome. You're pregnant, so I kicked you in the stomach. Chris Barnes is a pussy. Tim is gay. Another side note: Tim was actually their drummer for many years, and after he left, they wrote that song. Tim is gay, and he actually ended up rejoining the band after they wrote that song. So yeah, that's a nice little relationship they have there. Um, I sold your I sold your dog to a Chinese restaurant. I got an office job for the sole purpose of sexually harassing women. Yeah, man, that's a very offensive lineup of song titles there. Oh, I hope you weren't too offended. But let me just take a nice swig of beer here. Oh yeah, I got some Jaeger too for later. Um, what the fuck else did I want to talk about on this podcast? Um, yeah, I wanted to fucking read some 4chan stories, and I found a nice link here with a lot of good ones. I don't know how many of these are going to read, but if you're not familiar with 4chan stories, they're um, they're very like abrupt. They're very like to the point and segmented. You know, it's not like a well written kind of novel sort of structure. Just like kind of I don't know. Let me just get into one here. Crash the night at a bro's house. Wake up after a night of drinking. Feel like some breakfast. Hey man, what have you got to eat? He murmurs back from the bedroom with his girlfriend. There's cereal in the fridge. Cereal in the fridge. Think this is a joke? Check the fridge. There's cereal. There's cereal in the fridge. Walk to his bedroom and laugh at him and call him retarded. He gets all angry and mad with his girlfriend there. Seriously, who the fuck keeps cereal in the fridge? Fuck you, man. My girlfriend does it, and it's how you fucking store cereal. At this point, I'm pretty annoyed. Your girlfriend's a fucking idiot. Ha 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 ha. He flips out. He kicks me out of the house and hasn't talked to me for a week. Cereal in the fridge. Seriously, I shouldn't have to apologize for something so retarded and petty, right? Keeping cereal in the fridge is fucking stupid. My face when he said there's cereal in the fridge. Yeah, man. I mean, fuck. I've never heard of anyone putting cereal in the fridge. Um, I mean, I've heard of people pouring milk into a bowl before the cereal, and that's like just as retarded, if not more retarded. Who the fuck does that? That's just fucking stupid. Anyway, here's another story. I haven't really read any of these, so I don't know if these are going to be good, but went to the store on Thursday, bought a half-gallon jar of pickles. Love me some pickles. Eat one as soon as I get home. Tastes good, man. So good, I decide I'll have a few more. Walk back to my computer and start to work, but the urge is not sated. Not by a long shot. Come back to life-giving pickle jar several more times. Eat several pickles each time. After an hour, the jar is empty. 400% of my daily sodium never tasted so good. 30 minutes later, I hear a churning in my stomach. Not a light rumbling. Sounds like the noise an old tub makes when you suddenly pull the drain. Initiate sprint to bathroom mode. Barely get my ass on the toilet as a fucking waterfall emerges from my asshole. Never in my life have relief and horror been such close bedfellows. After about 10 seconds of continuous flow, it subsides to a trickle and stops. Toilet water is green and smells like vinegar. Fuck. Body, oh, body didn't even try to digest that shit. Clean up and go back to the computer, thinking, thank God that's over. Not even close. 5 minutes later, the rumbling is back, even louder this time. Sprint to the bathroom, lather, rinse, repeat. This happens 5 more fucking times. It's finally all gone. Stomach is concave. I have never had less food inside my body. Completely cleaned out. Cue rumble. Sit on toilet, but it's different this time. I know there's nothing in there. Shit out a tiny amount of liquid. Immediately feel better. Well, I guess there was just a tiny bit left. That wasn't so bad. All at once the burning fire of 1,000 young suns sets upon my anal sphincter. I had just shadowed pure stomach acid. Frantically wipe at my ass to prevent it from melting away like the spaceship floor in Alien. Crawl, crawl and shower, turn cold water on full blast, and lie prone while gently sobbing. Eventually towel off and crawl exhausted into bed at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Sleep for 14 hours. In retrospect, it was all totally worth it. I love me some pickles. Damn, bruh. That guy really likes pickles. Anyway, here's another one. Be me, beta 15-year-old. Had weed a few times. Nothing bad happened. Decided to try acid. Know a guy. Hooks me up. Go home. Close room, close blinds. Time to fucking party. Lying on bed, waiting for effects to kick in. Oh, fuck, there it is. Nothing looks right. Decide to play some video to see what it's like. Good old Zelda on Wii. After 10 minutes, get hungry. Try to leave, door won't open. Find key and unlock door. Needed a lot of force. Must have been stuck. Go downstairs. See parents on couch. Try and act cool. How's the weather? They leave after a while. Success. Make some Nutella toast. Tastes like shit. Sudden urge to evacuate my bowels. Just make it to the toilet before I start erupting. Feels good, man. Decide to sleep. Grab blanket and clock the fuck out. Wake up to screaming. Too tired to comprehend. Go back to sleep. Wake up in hospital. Got out of bed and threw Zelda game case at the wall. Jumped around in front of my off TV swinging a spoon like a Wii remote. After an hour of this, I shoved the spoon into the keyhole and threw myself against the door until the lock and my shoulder broke. Went downstairs, made a variety of facial expressions at parents while, while saying weather over and over until they left. Went to kitchen, spread Nutella onto bare hand. Oh, shit. Okay, so this is basically what really happened while he was tripping out, right? Went to kitchen, spread Nutella onto bare hand, and took a bite. Blood trail all the way to my sister's room, where I sat on her chair and took a huge dump. Fell asleep wrapped in a rug from the floor, where sister found me 10 minutes later. Parents couldn't look at me for a month. Sister won't talk to me. What's your worst tripping balls experience? Damn. Wow. Anyway, next story here. 8 out of 10 cardio bunny, who I bumped into last week. I used to hang around with her brother ages ago. We were in a queue together. We got talking about fitness. As I recall, she was quite sporty. I mentioned my gym rubbish, and she says I should check hers out. Guest pass and shiz. I jump at chance, both for gym and possible bone. We go. I do chest / tries. She goes treadmill, then cross trainer, then a few reps on the crunch machine for some reason. She asks, what am I doing after this? I say, might watch a movie. I've got a pirated copy of Avengers I've been meaning to watch. She says she wants to see that. I maintain my spaghetti and ask her to come. She accepts. Go to mine. I crack open my cheapest wine. We were watching the movie and talking a bit. She is apparently a bit of a lightweight, and wine goes straight to her head. We get talking about sex. Oh God, just typing this hurts. She mentions her ex never went down on her. I say something along the lines of, what an idiot. She goes in for a kiss. We kiss for about 5 seconds. She pulls away. Then I, for reasons unknown, need to fill a non-existent void. You know, I could give you the old lickaroo. The old lickaroo. I said it jokey and cheeky, but there was no way That didn't sound weird. Fuck, I may have sort of winked a bit. Oh God. She looks at me like I am a shoe sniffer and pulls away and said, yeah, just gonna go to toilet. This occurred roughly around when Hulk is smashing up the plane. She returns and I put my hand on her knee in an attempt to salvage. We make awkward small talk for what feels like an eternity. Man, this is a long film. When Hulk punches Thor, I remove my hand from her. Eons pass and the film finally ends. I walk her to my door and go for a hug. She effectively pats me on the shoulder. Ouch. I am too ashamed to even masturbate and just lie in bed alone. The old lickaroo. Share with me your shame. My misery needs company. Looks like some guy responds to the story saying, get a girl back to my place, get to talking about sex. Oh, never mind. I think it's just like a recap. Tell her I could give her the old lickaroo and winked at her. Hear her vagina shut down with the Windows 98 closing sound. Yep. Anyway, another story here. I don't know how much more of these I'm going to read, but I don't know how many more, but yeah, these are good, man. Does anyone else use GameStop as a bank? I got really pissed off at the US bank because I kept overdrafting my account even though I opted out, and the same thing happened with my credit union when I got a debit card. Now, whenever I get paid, I go pre-order a whole shitload of games. Whenever I need money, I go to the nearest GameStop and ask for my money back on a game. I I don't want wait. I go to the nearest GameStop and ask for my money back on a game I don't want and make a withdrawal. The lines are shorter at GameStop than at the bank, and I can trade in old games and have money go straight to my savings account. GameStops are just as prevalent as banks in my town, and I work at a mall, so it's even more convenient than running an errand to the bank or using an ATM and getting charged. The GameStop people are starting to catch on that I'm moving money around and only buying one pre-ordered game a year, if that. But there isn't shit they can do about it. The best part is, since I always pre-order every game coming out, I'm still guaranteed to get all the exclusive content, whether or not I'm sure I want a certain game. It's like they're rewarding me for banking with them. Damn, that's kind of fucking brilliant. I don't know. That guy found a nice little loophole there. Let me find another story here. Scrolling down. What the fuck? So I was looting through some stuff my dad left when he died, and I found this. The old bastard had a live grenade. It seems kind of old, but looks okay to me. What would you do to it? And these guys are informing this guy that he should put him in. He should put the grenade in the fucking toilet. Fuck. Damn. Okay. Let me find a longer one here. Let me find a good story from fucking 4chan while I take a nice swig of beer. Okay, so be me. Fap time. Browsing porn websites. End up finding a hot video of some dude ramming a hot ass girl. I can work with this. Fapping. Getting close. Zooms in on girl's face. I stop. Pause the video. Holy fuck, that's my best friend's mom. I'm 100% sure of this too. I can tell by the voice and the face. I've seen younger pictures of her around the house. He told me she did some quote-unquote modeling when she was younger, but it's all long gone now. I always suspected it was porn. She told him when she was drunk. Holy fuck. Finish. Device plan. Said friend had pranked me by moving my car and having me think it was stolen for hours. Revenge. Download video, cut out all parts of face close-ups. Distort audio slightly so voices sound different. Sent to my friend via email. He thanks me. 5 hours later, he tells me he just used it. It's a great video. literally dying of laughter. Keep my mouth shut, go over to his place next day to break the news to him. He tells me the vid is awesome, actually a really hot video, and he used it again. Literally start crying laughing. He asks me what. I go online and show him full vid. Fast forward to face close up. You just fapped to your mom, bro. He freezes. He's in shock. Ends up coming to terms with it and runs to the bathroom and pukes. He's fucking pissed, but I'm laughing uncontrollably. Funniest moment of my life. To add insult to injury, I jokingly say I found your dad. His dad left before his birth. He has pictures of him but never met him. He jokes about it to lighten the situation. Oh, very funny. Fuck you. I go to vid. See, dude, it was made the same year you were born. It actually was a strange coincidence. He says fuck you again, then freezes. He slowly walks the computer. Fast forwards to close up of male's face. The male is Hispanic and he is half Hispanic. The video is a cream pie video. He runs out and grabs a picture of his dad. Pictures from when his mom was pregnant. He left on the 8th month of pregnancy. Holds it next to the screen. Fuck. Bricks shat. It's his fucking dad. The resemblance is too close not to be. Same hairstyle, same looks, same color skin. What the fuck? I immediately feel like a piece of fucking shit. I just revealed to my closest bro his birth was a porno gone wrong. He starts to cry. Leaves room and grabs mom. Pulls her in. She freezes at the sight of the video. She starts to cry. It was true. He fucking just fapped to his conception. I apologize. Don't even know what to say. Wow. That's incredible. I don't think we'll be able to top that one. Let's just end there. Let's just fucking end there with the stories. Wow. Anyway, let's look at my notes here. What else did I want to fucking talk about? I found a fucking article here, and it's about Fortnite, which is an extremely popular an extremely popular video game at the moment. And apparently this primary school has banned a specific dance that's involved with Fortnite. It's called the floss dance. And yeah, man. Like they fucking just banned a dance because of this video game. A primary school in the UK has banned its students from doing the popular floss dance due to its association with a violent and addictive video game. The administration at how the fuck do you pronounce that? Ilfracombe Junior School in Devon recently sent a notice home to parents explaining that dance moves from video game Fortnite had been used in a gang-like way in the schoolyard to surround and intimidate children. We want our school to be one in which human beings treat each other with kindness and appreciation, wrote head teacher Catherine Cox in the letter to parents. Jesus fucking Christ. I'm going to need some beer here. This is so fucking stupid. Anyway, this quote continues saying, Fortnite is about mass killing of other human beings and being awarded by a dance of celebration if you are successful, she continued, adding that one of the moves is referred to as the Nazi dance. Have you guys ever played Fortnite? I mean, I haven't, but I've seen like videos and stuff of it. And it's really like a lighthearted game. It's like it's very cartoony graphics. It's like really like childlike. Like there's no like serious atmosphere in that game. This is fucking stupid. Anyway, The teacher believes that Fortnite is affecting children's learning and behavior, causing children to show obsessive and overactive behavior. Fortnite is extremely addictive, and playing violent games is associated with real life aggressive behavior and mental health issues. Fortnite is a safeguarding concern and will be logged as such. What a fucking dweeb. Jesus Christ, lady. Ugh. Noting that the game is targeted at children over the age of 12, Cox compared it to other violent video games that also have misogynistic undertones. This will be the same for children whose parents allow them to play games such as Grand Theft Auto, which is not only violent but treats other humans, especially females, with total disregard, she wrote. As an alternative to gaming, Cox provided suggestions as to how kids and parents should be spending their free time. Spend time with your children and enjoy their company. This is what matters most. Enjoy books together, cook together, shop together, build a den, camp out, go for a walk, explore the rock pools, draw, paint, talk, ask questions. Find out about the world and learn new things, she advised. Oh my god, can you just die? Can you just fucking die? So I can do the floss dance over your corpse. Anyway. In response to the note, dozens of parents took to social media to complain about what they saw as a ridiculous ban on the dance. Thank you, parents. Thank you. My child is 8. She doesn't even know what the Fortnite game is. She just likes to dance. She's even taught me how to do it, one parent posted to the Facebook group Gossip Around Ilfracombe. I find this absolutely ludicrous that my child now feels this way about a daft dance move. Children should not come home from school feeling like this. I'm flabbergasted, they added. The post attracted plenty of comments from other parents regarding the issue. Bullying is rife in all schools. Blaming it on one game/dance/parents is just another poor excuse, someone wrote. Another said, if kids are using the dances to intimidate kids, sounds ridiculous to me, then banning the dance doesn't help. They will use something else. Others disagreed with the outrage over the letter, arguing that it's the school's duty of care to address bullying and do what they can to eliminate it. I had no idea it was connected to the game and kids are using it to bully other kids. I can see the school's point now, but they need to explain it to the kids too, read a comment. I understand that yes, it is just a dance. They must have a really good reason for installing the ban, said another. Each child is different and reacts differently to certain situations. It's a debate that certainly needs talking about, and gaming addiction really needs to be addressed publicly, added the concerned parent. The floss dance initially gained momentum from an innocent YouTuber known as Backpack Kid, who reached mainstream fame after being scouted by singer Katy Perry, who asked him to perform with her on the popular TV show Saturday Night Live. Backpack Kid stole the show, and soon everyone was trying to emulate his bizarre robotic dance moves, including the animated characters in the Fortnite video game. Wow, it goes on. It says, addressing the controversy caused by the letter, Jody LeBradonchel, assistant head teacher at Ilfracombe Junior High School, clarified Mrs. Cox's points and confirmed that the students had also been appropriately briefed on the matter. In our school, a few incidents have taken place at lunchtime whereby pupils have been upset by some unpleasant dances, she told Devon Live, adding that there have been further concerns over the game due to a chat feature which cannot be disabled, whereby children can be contacted online by strangers. Our main priority is the safeguarding and well-being of the children, and this caused us to speak with all the pupils and reinforce our expectations, she continued. Noting that other schools have taken a similar approach regarding the dance, she said that Ilfracombe Junior High School understands that some parents have a different opinion, and this has caused quite a reaction on social media. We have, however, had many positive comments from parents who have appreciated the guidance we have given and have said that it has helped them to reinforce their expectations at home in the face of quite a lot of peer pressure for children to play the game, she added. Our intention has always been to keep the children safe, and their well-being is our main priority, and we would urge any parent who have concerns to contact us directly. Elsewhere around the world, the dance craze has been embraced by parents and teachers, with countless videos being shared online from homes and classrooms featuring children teaching adults to dance. Like all trends, flossing will eventually have an expiration date. Considering the previous popularity of fidget spinners, planking, and the dab, expect to see the floss die out in due time. Until then, love it or hate it, it's likely going to linger until the next craze sweeps through. Yeah, man. Yeah, you got to protect your kids from floss dancing, you know? It's like, why wouldn't you? You have to be a good parent. Protect them from silly dances. You know? Anyway, what else did I want to speak about on this fucking thing? Okay, of course. So since it's the fucking middle of July and Christmas is really, really soon, like fucking how many months away is it? Yeah, it's like it's really soon. It's, you know, it's really, really, really soon. But since Christmas is coming up, I thought it'd be good to talk about a story where I literally gave a guy a box of my own shit for Christmas. Yeah, and that's 100% true. Let me just fucking drink some more beer here. Oh yeah. Okay, so how old was I when this happened? I think I was like 20. Yeah, I had a buddy named Peter, and I was going through some legal troubles at the time. And my buddy Peter, I was talking to him on MSN when that shit was really popular, MSN Messenger. And for some reason, Mr. Peter decided to talk a lot of shit to me about my situation and just really just put me down and be a real dick and say a lot of mean shit. And, you know, this was a guy who I thought was supposed to be my friend, but he was like really just being a complete asshole. And it really pissed me off. Really pissed me off because I thought this guy was my buddy, but he's being a complete prick, and I was already going through a hard time. So it really pissed me off. And what made it even worse was that after that, I actually saw him in person, and then I was like, you know, I asked him, I was like, okay, what do you got to say to me now in person, buddy? What do you got to say? And he just kind of looked away, and he's like, oh, you know I was just kidding. No, you weren't kidding, buddy. You were being serious. You said a lot of mean shit. Yeah, anyway, so I was mad about it, and especially since he couldn't even, like, man up about it in person. That really pissed me off. And Christmas was coming up, so I decided to give him a nice little special present. Yeah, man. So, yeah, Christmas was like a few days away, I guess. And one night, I got really fucking stoned, smoked a lot of weed, got fucking blitzed, and I ate like a shit ton of pizza. Like, I got hardcore munchies, and I just ate like so much pizza. I just passed out. And when I woke up the next day, I grabbed a tin cookie box, an empty tin cookie box, and I took it with me into the bathroom, and I took a big old dump in it. A big old fucking diarrhea dump in it. Like the stuff that came out of my ass, man. Oh boy, it was putrid. It was just fucking awful. Like the consistency of it was like a thick milkshake. Sorry, I'm getting graphic here, but yeah, man, that's how it is. That's how it was. And took a big old dump, filled that sucker up, closed it up, wrapped it, and I actually had spoken with some friends before doing this, some mutual friends that were also buddies with Peter, and I discussed doing this with them, and they're like, most of them, or I think all of them, were like, yeah, man, fucking do it. That's hilarious. Do it. He deserves it. Like, you should totally do that. It's gonna be awesome. So they just encouraged me, right? Anyway, so after I wrapped this fucker up, I went over to my buddy Mike's house, who was one of the guys who encouraged me to do it. And yeah, I took a bus ride over there, and I was kind of paranoid while on the bus holding a box of shit in a bag. Like I was fucking wondering if the smell was emanating from the box, and people on the bus could smell it. I'm like, I'm not even sure if they could, but it was definitely possible. Because once I got to Mike's house and I showed him the present, he put his nose close to the box and he could totally smell shit. He was like, dude, no. He's like, no, he's going to know. Peter's going to know when you give that to him. He's going to know. So Mike had this great idea to kind of mask the smell by spraying cologne on the sides of the box on the wrapping paper. So I'm really glad I went by his house first, because I wouldn't have done that otherwise. So yeah, he kind of masked the smell for me, covered it in cologne, and it really helped. Like it really, yeah, like after that you couldn't really smell it anymore. So anyway, after that I went over to Peter's house and knocked on his door, and his mother answered the door. And I was like, hi, is Peter home? She's like, no, he's not back from work yet. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Because I wanted to, like, hand it to him personally. And maybe he would have even opened it right there, right then and there, and that would have been beautiful. So I could see his stupid face. But anyway, he wasn't home, so I gave it to his mother. I handed the box of shit to his mom, and I smiled. And I said, can you give this to Peter? She's like, yeah, of course. And I was like, Merry Christmas. She's like, thank you. Merry Christmas to you, too. Anyway, yeah, so Christmas Day passes, and fucking Peter opens the box. And I just wish I could have seen his face when he opened it. I just wish. Like, maybe if I had, like, a live camera feed in it or something, that would have been awesome. Because he was fucking infuriated. Infuriated. And I don't know how you guys would react to getting a box of shit. But in my naive mind, I was almost like thinking he was just going to, like, kind of laugh and be like, ooh, you're such an asshole. Oh, you fucking rascal. But he was fucking infuriated. I'm not sure if he opened it up in front of his parents or not. I really don't know to this day. I'm not sure about that detail. But he was so fucking angry, and he got on MSN, and he was like bitching at me some more, and he's like, "You're a sorry excuse for a human being." And you know what? He actually called the fucking police. He called the police over a box of shit. Can you believe that? He fucking called the cops over fucking diarrhea in a box. And they came over to his house. And I was also told, I mean, I'm not sure about this part, but I was told by friends that a fucking fire truck went to his house too. That just seems ridiculous to me. That seems like extreme. That seems extremely excessive. I'm not even sure if that part's true, but I know cops were over at his house, and he said, "Yeah, I give them all your information." It's like, what the fuck? I didn't break any laws, you dumb fuck. I was actually told by police. I was told by my buddies that the police were fucking laughing about it. And I mean, how could you not? If you were a cop and some retard called you to go over to his house because a guy gave him a box of shit, how could you not laugh at that? Merry shit, Miss Faggot. Oh, Jesus. Let me drink some more beer. Yeah, so he called the cops. And of course, I mean, they can't press any charges. I didn't do anything wrong. Anyway, I got off scot-free, obviously. But several days later, I was at my buddy Adrian's house, who was also buddies with Peter. Sorry, I'm starting to slur my speech here. But I was there for a fucking New Year's party. And we're hanging out, drinking beers, having a good time. And then later on, guess who comes at the door? It's Mr. Peter. And he's still fucking pissed off. And he's infuriated. And guess what? He has a fucking hammer in his hand. He has a fucking hammer, and he's like threatening to kill me. He's going berserk. And like people like rush to the door and stuff, and they're like trying to calm him down. Like, no, dude, it's not worth it. It was just a box of shit. But he's like so fucking pissed. And eventually, they calmed him down. And then they let him into the house. And that was pretty much it. We just kind of talked a little bit of shit back and forth afterwards. He was so angry. And I think most of that argument on New Year's is like on video somewhere. I think Adrian must have like the video archived somewhere in his house. But yeah, man, Peter is just really pissed off. It's like, this guy has a sore excuse for a human being. He's a piece of shit. Fuck. Like, fuck, man. It was just fucking diarrhea in a box. Take it easy, buddy. But that's pretty much the end of the story. I hope you guys enjoy that. Yeah, man. Anyway. What else do I got to talk about on episode number 6? Let's see. Okay, so let me drink some beer. Anyway, so I made a post here on Wire Club. Let me bring that up here. I made a post, and I was asking for some advice from people. Good or bad advice. It doesn't really matter. But most of you listening to this probably have already seen this or heard it. And I'm just going to go through it real quick. Basically, I said, hello. I am a loser and I live with my mom. I often notice that for some reason she stares at my crotch area when I walk by her while wearing boxer shorts through the kitchen. This makes me feel uncomfortable and awkward, and I fear that confronting her about it will only increase those feelings. I also don't want to put on pants every time I have to walk by her. Please post good and or bad advice below. Thank you. All right, so the advice that I received here from several humans are as follows. Lacar says, put a banana in there and see if she says anything about it, looking different. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I mean, I could do that. Yeah, my mom has a decent sense of humor. She'd probably laugh about it. But it would still kind of be awkward. Yeah, she'd be like, why the fuck do you have fruit in your crotch, you dumb fuck? What are you doing? You fucking idiot. And then maybe I could just like eat the banana in front of her. I don't know. Miss Chaos and Melody says, pretty sure a lot of moms do weird shit like that. Well, that actually kind of makes me feel a little better. Maybe that's true. But, I mean, fuck, like, why? Why are you looking at your son's dick? Why, man? Anyway, Hamad Riyad says, Maybe she is just worried about your penile health and wants to make sure her son is okay. She may also be thinking, my son needs to get laid, so he'll stop being so gay. My advice would be to stop walking around in the kitchen with a distracting average-sized boner and make sure your balls aren't hanging out the bottom. You also could just confront her and say that just because she doesn't get any dick doesn't mean she can stare at yours. Wow. I can't even imagine saying something like that to my mom. Jesus. But apparently, according to this piece of advice from Hama, yeah, my son needs to get laid so he'll stop being so gay. Well, maybe, just maybe I've actually been getting laid lately. Maybe. I don't know. She says, and this is my favorite piece of advice here. It says, put an end to her curiosity and have sex with her. Very well said. That is, yes. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to do that, but yeah, man, it's good advice. It's good, bad advice. Anyway, Batsal says, take her to the Tunnel of Love on the Gardner Expressway. The Tunnel of Love. Take her to the Tunnel of Love. Interesting. Is there actually like a Tunnel of Love in Toronto? I'm not sure where that is. He says the Gardner Expressway. I don't know. Yeah, maybe I can take my mom there and do like some incest stuff. And then Guacamole is Dope finishes it off saying, stop watching me in action, you cuck. I'm not really sure what that means. Like, is he saying that he fucks his mom? Because I'm honestly, I don't know what that means. Stop watching me in action, you cuck. Anyway, now that that's over with, I guess we can check in on Canada Chat. Yeah, let's look into Canada Chat, see if there's anything interesting going on in here, to do a nice little reading. Okay, I'm going to go into Canada Chat, but no one's going to see me. At the current time, it looks pretty fucking dead. It is currently 2:09 p.m. Looking pretty dead. Yeah, man, there's nothing going on. Just left the room, joined the room, left the room, joined the room. Yeah, it's dead. It's fucking dead. Nothing going on. Oh, well, maybe we can check in a little later. I don't know. It's just a bad time for wiring. Anyway, yeah, we'll check in a bit later. And right now, what I'd like to do is fucking open up my inbox. Let me look here. See all received. Now, I asked you guys to send stuff to my inbox for episode number 6. And I didn't receive too many messages. Obviously, this podcast is, people are losing interest in it. I understand. It peaked at episode number 1, and it's just all downhill from here. But I'm just going to keep on rolling, baby. Anyway, I got a decent amount of messages, not a lot. But let me open up one here from Bad Sal. And this one is fucking beautiful. I actually, and just for the record, I actually read all of these beforehand. Just wanted to, try something different. For every other episode, I just read them on the spot for the podcast. But, just to try something different, I wanted to read all of these beforehand. And this one is fucking awesome from Bad Sal. I even replied saying, This is fucking gold. I'll definitely be reading this on the next episode. Thank you. Okay, so Bad Sal sent me a story here. And obviously, I mean, I don't know how true this is, but it's a fucking damn good story. So, he says, I think it's time I talked about my past, and your podcast seems like just as good a place as any. In 2009, I was living in a low-rise apartment building with, if memory serves me right, had 16 units, 4 units per floor for 3 floors and 1 basement. The building had a built-in vacuum flow style central vacuum system, so in each unit you could just plug your vacuum hose into the wall and do your cleaning. The central vacuum system canisters were located in maintenance closets on each floor. Sorry, I'm already like kind of laughing because I know where this goes, but so I'm like already starting to fucking laugh. Sorry, but each oh fuck. Okay, each apartment unit. Fuck. Oh fuck. Each apartment unit also had 1 or 2 toilets. The apartment unit that I was living in was in the basement floor. Hold on, I gotta collect myself here because I'm being extremely unprofessional. Let me just drink some more beer. Oh yeah. Okay. So Sal continues on saying, one day I decided to take the vacuum hose and put the end in the toilet water and turn the vacuum on. Unfortunately, I had not spent very much time thinking about what the consequences of my actions would be. The following is what followed as a result of my action. The vacuum system aspirated some water into the system, causing an electrical short circuit in the canister. Because the canister had not been emptied in a while and contained a lot of dry dust and particles, a fire erupted in the canister. The fire caused the canister to become dislodged from its mounts, causing burning debris to spill all over the maintenance closet. The fire then spread to the rest of the building. These events all occurred in the early morning hours, 1 to 2 a.m., during a weeknight, so all the apartments were full of sleeping occupants. There were 4 deaths. One was a small child and her father. The mother survived. Another was an elderly lady. The 4th death was a middle-aged male who was known to be an alcoholic and so was probably passed out. I was found at fault for the fire and now have a massive criminal record for having burned down the building and killed 4 people. I spent a lot of time trying to cope with what I've done. But the only thing that really works is to just convince myself that those people didn't really count. And that it was all just a big funny event. When I talk to people about what I did and laugh okay. When I talk to people about what I did and laugh hysterically, they treat me like some kind of ridiculous freak jerk. But that's the only way I know to deal with the pain I live through every day for what I've done. But that's not all. After I was charged and convicted for all those crimes that I did, I was sentenced to 6 years of jail. The irony is that had I served my 6 years, I'd be out by now. However, I did not serve the time. I fled, and I am now currently living as a fugitive. I am now ready to pay for my ignorant actions. If any of you out there are lawmen or women, I'm sure you have enough information to track me down. After all, Louis was able to track down some random guys just using their first name, like he described in a previous podcast. Oh, yeah. By the way, that's an inside joke. Anyway, my biggest fear is that I will be found and go to jail and then laugh about my crimes and the deaths and the jail and that the other inmates will treat me poorly because I was laughing about the victims. I feel so much better now that I've talked about my past, about how I vacuumed the toilet and killed 4 people. Thank you. Well, Sal, as you know, this is a very popular podcast, and like I have 11 whole subscribers. So obviously a lot of people listen to this, and eventually some lawman will hear it, and he will catch up with you, and he will put you in prison. So that seems like that's what you want. So I'm glad to help just by telling your story. So that's obviously going to happen. Anyway, thank you very much for that message, Sal. That was fucking epic. That was fucking epic. So I got a few more messages from Sal here. Let me see. He's got a question here. It says, I've never been to Disneyland. Do you think she says wants to go to Disneyland with me, and can I kiss her on her hot ass booty? Well, I don't know, man. I mean, you got to talk to her about that, you know? Like, I absolutely agree that she has a hot ass booty, so I can completely understand why you would want to kiss it. But I think you're probably gonna have to get her consent first. So, my advice is to just like talk to her first. But thank you for that message, Sal. He's got another. Yeah, he's got several he sent me. Okay, this one is about a movie starring Charlton Heston. So it reads on saying, there are 2 movies about the Judah Ben-Hur, one with Charlton Heston and another from 2016. The idea here is that there were 2 brothers, one a Jewish noble in his town of Jerusalem, who was Ben-Hur, and the other an adopted Roman orphan, Masala. So Ben's family adopted the orphan Masala as his forefathers were traitors to Rome. Masala ended up rejecting Ben's family and murdering and or condemning all of Ben's family, including the adopted sister he loved on Roman's orders. Eventually, due to his allegiance to Rome over his family, Masala chose to compete against Ben in the arena of chariots. My questions are the following. Number 1, do you prefer the original Ben-Hur with Charlton Heston, or do you prefer the 2016 version? Well, I've never watched either of these films, Sal, but I was doing some research on them. I was reading some Wikipedia about it. I think I would much rather watch the original version than the 2016 version. That seems much more interesting. So I would definitely want to watch the original. So Sal's second question is, who do you think the real hero is? A. Masala, who was an orphan and won his way to victory because he needed to form an identity of his own, but died in a chariot to his adoptive brother. Or B. Ben, whose family adopted Masala, but then Ben chose to harbor a rebel against Rome, and Ben's poor decisions caused him the life of all those he loved and his own, and then only wanted revenge against Masala. So, like I said, I was reading up on this movie on Wikipedia, mostly just the plot and like about the characters. And hold on, let me find what I was talking about here. One second. Yeah, so on the plot summary of this story here, there was one particular section that really stood out to me, and it says, when a loose tile is accidentally dislodged from the roof of Judah's house during a military parade and strikes the Roman governor, knocking him from his horse, Masala falsely accuses Judah of attempted assassination. Although Judah is not guilty and receives no trial, he is sent to the Roman galleys for life. His mother and sister are imprisoned in a Roman jail where they contract leprosy, and all the family property is confiscated. So that part really stood out to me, man. I mean, that is just a completely fucking dick move by Mr. Masala here. So I mean, I totally cannot relate to that. And yeah, he is just that is some dickish shit. I cannot consider him a hero when he's doing corrupt shit like that. I can't consider Masala a hero. So just by default, fucking Mr. Ben is the hero by comparison. I mean, that's a dick move, man. And so Sal's third question is, who do you identify most with? Yeah, I can't identify with Masala. That is just bullshit. It's bullshit. Anyway, and his last question is, if you were Marilyn Manson, who would you sing a song about between Ben and Masala? Well, I would probably sing about that particular event right there, because I mean that is extremely corrupt, and I think the corruption involved with that story would make for it would make for good content for a Marilyn Manson song. You know, that's really dark. To fucking treat your family like that, the family that adopted you, because a loose tile fell off their fucking roof. Jesus. Anyway, thank you very much for those messages, Sal. He's got a few more, but right now, I'd like to read a message that I got from Corwin. Let's open this up here. So, Mr. Corwin, he's obviously one of the big moderators on Wire Club, and I kind of consider him to be like my internet dad, you know, because he's always trying to keep an eye on me, always seeing if I'm doing okay, trying to make me be a good boy. But this message is worth reading on the podcast because it's kind of funny. But anyway, the message reads, and this is from 29 days ago. He says, this account is free to use again. And I would advise you next time you find yourself muted to not use that other account to try to dodge it. It just makes your case worse. I wasn't there at the time, but when I checked the records, you certainly earned that 24-hour suspension. Posting a video titled, quote unquote, Alex is a stupid nigger, with a guy with another guy's dick in his mouth? Louis shakes head. You know better. Next time, take your lumps like a man and wait it out. But I hope there won't be a next time. You know, I went to bat for you to get your ban lifted. Please try to behave. You likely won't get another chance if you blow it this time. Yeah. Sorry, I guess I'm an asshole. My bad. I'll try to be a good boy. I'll be a good boy. Anyway, here's some more messages from Sal. He says, hi, Louie. Do you have a friend named Richard? And if so, do you ever call him Bitchard? If not, will you ever call him Bitchard and then ask him if it's okay with him if you call him Bitchard at your discretion? And then call him Bitchard whenever it pleases you. Will you, Louie? Will you? Well, I had a friend named Richard when I was a kid. Yeah, I don't talk to him anymore. But it never occurred to me to call him Bitchard. But I do like that nickname, you know. If you have a buddy named Richard and he's pissing you off or he's just being a bitch, I mean, it's perfect. Just call him Bitchard. But there's a guy on YouTube that I watch occasionally, and his username on YouTube is Vegan Gains, and his real name is actually Richard. And he often acts like a bitch, so I mean, it would be appropriate to like go into the comment section and be like, "Fucking Bitchard." Anyway, thank you for that message, Sal. I appreciate it. And we got, I think this is the last one from Sal, and boy, this one's a doozy. Oh boy. Okay, so this one is titled, The History of a Picture of My Anus. And he says, Guacamole is dope was asking for a picture of my butt, so I took a picture of my butt. And then he includes a link to Imgur, And lo and behold, there is Sal's rectum. Or at least I assume it's Sal's rectum. I mean, fuck. Maybe he's just lying or joking. But I mean, that is definitely a rectum. And it's quite hairy and it's quite close up. It's very graphic. It's actually too graphic for me to put on the podcast. You know, I don't want to get pulled off by the cucks who run YouTube, unfortunately. Yeah, but it's a very, very graphic photo. Like, you can almost, like, look directly into his fucking body cavity. Anyway, thank you for that, Sal. I appreciate it. You know I got a strong stomach, man, so it's all good. So I got a message from Mr. Girth Brooks here, and he says, please discuss the Rocky Tien saga if you feel it's appropriate. He hasn't been back since. So I'm actually going to address this a little later in the podcast because I know someone else asks about the same thing. But Girth included a link here. Oh, it's actually, the link is actually dead right now. But it was, the link was Mr. Rocky Tien's LinkedIn account. So I don't know, maybe he deleted it or something. But yeah, it's currently not working. By the way, Mr. Rocky Tien is on Wire Club, known as Young and Rich. But I'll get back to that topic in a little bit. So just to let you know. And I will continue on to the next message here. Lacar sent me a fucking topic here. So she sent me a news article, and please bear with me because this is actually kind of depressing. But she wanted to hear my thoughts about it. So I'm going to read through this little article. Supreme Court rules man who killed toddler will not go back to jail. Yeah. An Edmonton man who killed a toddler when he accidentally crashed his vehicle into a patio will not go back to jail, Canada's highest court ruled Friday. The Supreme Court of Canada has decreased Richard Sutter's 26-month sentence for the 2013 death of 2-year-old Gio Monsef to time served. His 30-month driving suspension was upheld. Oh, yeah. Suter was initially handed a 4-month term after pleading guilty to refusing to provide a breath sample following a fatal accident. But the Court of Appeal of Alberta later increased the sentence to 26 months. The judge who originally sentenced Suter found that he was sober when he mistakenly hit the gas instead of the brake in his SUV and crashed through a restaurant patio, striking several people and killing Monsef. While in a holding cell, a lawyer advised Suter not to provide a breath sample, advice which he followed. In its decision released Friday, the Supreme Court of Canada said a suitable sentence for Suter would have been 15 to 18 months. However, it declined to impose a penalty in that range, instead opting for time served. It would not be in the interest of justice to re-incarcerate Suter at this time. It would cause him undue hardship and serve no useful purpose, the decision reads. That part of the court's reasons was the hardest to comprehend for Monsef's mother, Sage Morin, who said the ruling left her feeling like she'd been kicked in the stomach. That was ultimately the gagger, really. It fails to take into account the undue hardship our family has had to bear, now and for the rest of our lives, Morin said Friday. Suter served more than 10 months in jail before being released to await the outcome of the appeal. Suter's lawyer, Dino Botos, said Friday that the court's decision is a relief after the hell Suter and his wife have been through the past 5 years. Mr. Suter himself is very relieved and grateful, and he is also wanted to extend yet again his sincere apology to the Monsef family for having caused the death of Gio. Yeah, Boto said the decision is also meaningful because of a new law it has created related to mitigating factors during sentencing, which was the basis of his appeal. The court considered a number of factors that, if found, removed Suter's case from the normal range of sentencing for this type of crime, including that he was not impaired, that he refused to provide a breath sample to police because of bad legal advice, and that he was kidnapped by vigilantes who cut off his thumb. Jesus. Damn. Yeah, man. So, after LaCar sent me this link, she continues on, saying the man's defense to the refusal charge was that he called legal aid and the lawyer he spoke to advised him not to make a sample. Why? No one knows. He says he was sober, so why not prove it? Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. It doesn't make any sense for him to not provide a breath sample if he was completely sober. That's just fucking stupid. Also, he was kidnapped at one point, by whom is unknown still, but it is speculated to be by family members of the deceased child, and had one, if not two, fingers cut off. This was prior to the trial. My questions to you has two parts. What do you think of the original sentencing imposed on him? Too high, too little? Investigators are torn on whether it was a fluke accident or whether he was impaired at the time. Well, I mean, the breath sample thing really stands out to me, because, I mean, if he was sober, I mean, he would obviously want to prove that, right? So either he had a really stupid fucking dumb lawyer who gave him bad advice to not give a sample, or like he was obviously hiding that he was impaired. But either way, I mean, even if he wasn't impaired, he still needs to like face consequences for his actions, because he killed someone by fucking up. So, I mean, he has to experience some kind of consequence. And I'm not sure how much jail time that would really require. I don't know. I don't know about that. But the car continues saying, what do you think of the Supreme Court's ruling? This has stirred shit up in the world of impaired refusal charges, especially those resulting in death. Hearing people's takes on it is fascinating to me. Well, you know, I'm trying to like put myself in the situation of the guy who did it. And, you know, obviously if it was just 100% like an accident, I would feel really bad. But I still would have to face some sort of consequence because I fucking did it. I took a life accidentally, and you gotta fucking face it. I'm really just not sure how much fucking jail time that calls for. I really don't know. Obviously, if he was impaired, then it would require a lot more. You know, what really interested me the most about this story is the vigilante thing. Like, who fucking kidnapped him and cut off his thumb? Obviously, it makes sense that it would be family members, but I would really like to learn more about that situation. But, yeah, like if someone could, like, interview this guy or something, so he could, like, talk about his experience about being kidnapped. It's like, you fucking killed my kid! I'm gonna fucking cut off your thumb, you piece of shit! No, it was an accident. It was a fucking accident, man, please. Oh, please, man. And they just fucking cut off his thumb. Yeah, man. You know, when the courts fail, it's like, it's up to the people to take care of justice. And it seems like they kind of took care of that. But I think that's all I have to say about it. It was very interesting to read that. So thank you very much for that, LaCar. And she has another message here for me. Let's see here. Okay, yeah, so this is about, yeah, man, the Alberta tweakers. So let me see if I can find this video on YouTube again. Yeah. So there was this couple, this fucking drugged out couple. Yeah, if you want to see the video, you can just go on YouTube. The easiest thing to type in to find it is woman falls through convenience store roof. You'll see the video if you type that. Yeah, man. So this video is actually pretty fucking hilarious and sad. But LaCar goes on to say, So how about them Spruce Grove, Alberta tweakers, eh? What is your favorite part of the video? I can pick from either A, the dude grabbing the bag of spits, like, what do you think is going to happen with those? B, the employee just standing there the whole time. C, the cop grabbing the chick's ass while holding onto the guy's leg. What a beast. D, obviously the girl falling through the roof. I haven't laughed that hard in a long time. So as you can see, she described some of the points of the video here. Basically, this drugged out couple is like in a fucking convenience store, and for whatever reason, cops are after them, trying to arrest them, and they're just being a bunch of fucking retards. And basically, it ends with this bitch. I guess like there was footage of her in a back room, and I guess she crawled through like a ventilation system, and then she fucking falls through the roof of the store, just like collapsed through the fucking roof, through the ceiling, and just landed on some shelves. And like the whole video before that is like just a complete shit show. And it's like it was already like a sitcom to begin with, but at that point, after she falls through the ceiling, I mean that really solidified it. It just felt like fucking satire at that point. It was like a parody. It looked like a fucking Mad TV skit. It was just fucking hilarious. So I highly recommend you guys watch that video if you haven't seen it. But for me, that was definitely the highlight of the video. That was just like, Jesus Christ, lady. My goodness. Anyway, Lacar continues saying, not to say you actually sent anything, because I don't believe you did, but do you still have what you wrote to Rocky Tian's boss? Because I'd love to hear it if you haven't already talked about it. Okay, so this is the thing Girth was asking about earlier. So basically, one night on Wire Club while I was at work, I got back from like a patrol or something, and somehow these guys knew Young and Rich's work website. Somehow they got his information for his Toyota car dealership thingy, and they were posting links from it, and they were like kind of like busting his balls and like threatening to send his boss mail telling him like what an asshole he was or something. And I decided to join in on that, and I started typing threatening that I was going to send his boss a really intricate complaint about Rocky's behavior online. And I forget exactly what I was writing, but it was something to the effects of, Dear Rocky's boss, I was considering purchasing a vehicle from your fine establishment, but then I saw your product advisor behaving quite foolishly online, and I was just appalled and shocked that a professional could behave in this manner. And I just want you to know that it is his fault that you are losing business for me. I have decided to go elsewhere to purchase my vehicle, and it is 100% Rocky's fault. So I was just typing shit like that into the chat room to like scare the shit out of him, and it seemed to work because he was just completely quiet when I was doing that. And like Girth said, like he didn't come back for like a while. I have since seen him come into the room, but he was kind of gone for a while. I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but it seemed like he got a little frightened, you know? Anyway, I don't know how well I explained that. I'm kind of intoxicated. Anyway, Lacar has some more in this message saying, when you were just a young lad, did your school participate in celebrating the Montreal Winter Festival every year? If so, do you remember that big, creepy fuck of a snowman? I don't know the spelling, but his name as something along the lines of Banum or something. You know, I honestly don't know what the hell you're talking about, miss. Yeah, Montreal Winter Festival. I have no idea what that is. I don't know. I live in Toronto, so fuck. I mean, what is the Montreal Winter? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not even going to Google it. But yeah, I wish I had more knowledge on that so I can comment on it, but I don't. Anyway, thank you very much for that message, Lacar. I hope my answer wasn't too terrible. I hope it wasn't too terrible. Anyway, I got a message from Miss Liebstrom, and she says, "What is your take on Kef and KJ? Predictions? Do you ship it? Words of advice." So this is kind of a gay question. It's about two wire clubbers, Kefir and KJ, who, I don't know, apparently they're like a thing now or something. I don't know. Um, well, my first instinct is to just tell you that I really don't give a shit. If they're together, it doesn't bother me, it doesn't affect me, I don't care. And then to be less of an asshole, I'll just say, yeah, good luck to both of them. Have fun, fellas. Do lots of sex and have a good time. Just please don't procreate. That's my only advice. Don't procreate. Anyway, that's all I got to say about it, really. I mean, I'm kind of disappointed by that question from Liebs. I expect more of her. Anyway, I got a message from someone named Chingo Gringo, and I'm really not sure who this is, but this this message involves a Wire Club user named IB6UB9. So I'm not really too aware of IB6UB9. I've seen this person around, but I really don't know too much about them. But apparently Chingo Gringo here has a problem with him. I assume it's a him, right? Um, yeah, he's got a problem with him, and he talks a lot of shit in this message, which I will now read. And he says, "We all know the active sex life of the virgin IB6UB9. If you had to spend one day in his active sex life, which one of his favorite activities would you choose? Number 1, sniff his roommate's girlfriend's panties. Number 2, sniff their dried up maxi pads pulled from the trash can. Number 3, sniff their ass while she is being plowed by a roommate. Number 4, masturbate your smelly unwashed cock that seems to be aroused by other black cocks while watching porn." Well, I mean, those are quite some options there. I think I'm definitely leaning towards smelling some maxi pads. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's the best. You gotta smell some maxi pads once in a while, right? Why not, man? You gotta pull them out of the trash can and just take a big whiff. Just be a man. I don't know. I mean, this guy's message just really just speaks for itself. I don't really have to comment much on it. Um, yeah. I mean, thank you for the content. I appreciate it. It was a good read. Good read. And I hope you resolve your issues with Mr. IB6UB9. Anyway, I got a message here from Miss Chaos and Melody, and this message is highly offensive. Highly offensive. And she says, "Hey, Shrek called. He wants his face back." Okay. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I see how it is. I see how it is. Let me drink some more beer here. You know what? When I first read this message, it was like sent like 9 days ago. I was actually kind of offended, and it kind of hurt my feelings. And I cried myself to sleep for like a few nights. I was really hurt, but then I thought a little bit more about it. And have you guys ever seen the human version of Shrek? I'll show him to you right now on the podcast here. Yeah, he's actually handsome as fuck. He's handsome as fuck. And initially, when I read this fucking message, I was just gonna quote George Costanza from Seinfeld and actually just say,
"Well, the jerk store called. They're running out of you."
Yeah, man. But but the more I thought about it, the more I realized that it's actually a compliment. So thank you very much for that compliment, Amanda. I appreciate it. You know, thank you very much. That's so sweet of you. And hopefully you don't get triggered by me using your first name on a podcast that no one listens to, like like some other folks. You know. Anyway, thank you very much for that message. Even though you were fucking being a cunt. Anyway, Zendrix, he sent me a 30-minute documentary about the Illuminati, and he wanted to hear me comment on it. And you know, it was really good. I watched it, and it was very informative. And several years ago, I actually watched a documentary on the Illuminati, and it was like, I think it was like fucking 3 hours long or something. It was like really long. I don't even know if I got through all of it, but it was really long. And this 30-minute one is like kind of like a condensed version of it. So it kind of like, you know, it hits all the points, you know, quickly within 30 minutes. It was really good, and I don't have too much to say about it other than it was good, and you should watch it. It's called The Great Plan, Illumicorp. Yeah, you should watch it. And you know, I find with these kind of things, it's like they're watching these kinds of things is like fucking depressing, because it basically just reminds you that we're all just kind of sheep, and we're all controlled by the elites, and we're just cattle, and there's not really much we can do about it, honestly. So that's why it's depressing, because it's like they're just controlling you, and there's not much you can do about it. So that's why I try to avoid watching these kinds of things. You know? Yeah, man. Anyway. Yeah, go watch The Great Plan, Illumicorp. Thank you for that fucking documentary, Zendrick. And now, a fucking message from Jono. And this fucker asks me, do you believe in magic? Do I believe in magic? Do I believe in magic? Well, you know, this actually reminds me of a story from my childhood, when we went to the library. Actually, I think it was the library, where some stupid magician asshole was putting on a stupid show, and one of his fucking one of his quote unquote tricks was that he made a bunny, like a little toy bunny, disappear, and then it appeared in his like fucking jacket pocket. So when he was doing this, I noticed that the bunny never actually disappeared. Like, it was hiding behind a thing, and I could still kind of see like a small portion of the bunny from around the side. So this asshole was pretending that the bunny appeared in his suit jacket, and I was there like pointing and saying, "No, what the fuck? No, I can still see the bunny hiding behind it. You're lying." But of course, no one gave a shit. They were just like enjoying the show, and I guess I was ruining it for them by telling the truth. But I just, at that point, I remember just feeling so insulted. Like, this fucking asshole was lying to us and insulting our intelligence just because we're stupid little kids. And, yeah, ever since then, I just really had not much respect for, like, magic. Because they're just fucking lying to you. But, I don't know, man. But maybe this message was actually about Magic Johnson, the basketball player with AIDS. If it's about him, then yeah, I believe in him. He's a good man. I don't know how he got AIDS or HIV, whichever one it is. But you know, if you guys, I got a question for you guys. If you guys were at like a barbecue at Magic Johnson's house, you know, let's say he was throwing a barbecue, and he was hanging around you, and then you saw like some mosquitoes flying by, would you get nervous? Would you get nervous? Because he has fucking HIV or AIDS or whatever. So if one of those mosquitoes bit him and then bit you, you would probably get AIDS, right? Or some shit. I don't know. Anyway, I'm speaking out of my ass as usual. Thank you for that message, Jono. Thank you. Better than nothing. And what else we got here? We got some more messages from Lacar here. I'm gonna take a nice swig of beer. Mm-hmm. So Lacar says, what would be your go-to karaoke song? It has to be one that would be in a typical karaoke list of selections. Example, shares If I Could Turn Back Time. Are you willing to give us an example of the song you picked? So when I read this, my first instinct was just to say, I Don't Want to Miss a Thing by Aerosmith. Because when I was a teenager, we used to just kind of like get high and joke around about that song because it was like, it was new at the time, and it was just like, we liked laughing about it because it was just so stupid to us. So yeah, I could imagine being like really wasted at a bar and then singing that song, like making all my friends laugh. And she says, "Are you willing to give us an example of the song you picked?" I'm not exactly sure what that means. I assume she's asking like, she wants to hear me like sample. She wants to hear me singing, basically. Um, well, I mean, this is the Cringe Carnival, right? So it would be appropriate to hear me sing. It just makes sense. Um, yeah, you know what? I'll give you a little sample of the chorus of the song. Let me just fucking finish my tall can here. I think it'll help me out. Mm, yeah. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. So the song kind of goes like, I don't want to close my eyes. I don't want to fall asleep 'cause I miss you, babe. And I don't want to miss a thing. 'Cause even when I dream of you, the sweetest dream will never do. 'Cause I miss you, babe. And I don't want to miss a thing. Yeah, that's all I got for you. So hopefully your ears aren't bleeding too much. Anyway, so I think this is the last message. Wait, well, yeah, I got one more from Lacar here. And she says, in episode 5, Devilish Soul referenced your quote unquote sexy voice, and you proceeded to talk in an erotic voice. Most of us all agree with him that you have a sexy voice. If you read more Canada Chat dialogue, you should do it in a sexy voice. Side note, I quite enjoyed the Canada Chat reading. It was like I was listening to an audiobook. Well, I mean, speaking of which, I guess at this point we can check back into Canada Chat and see if it's a little bit more lively now. Let me just go in here. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. I'm going to go incognito here. Go in the Canada Chat. Boom. Okay, so it's much more lively now. Yeah, we got some material to work with now. Okay, so Pure Potential says, apparently Burrito Boys is open till 4 a.m. on Friday, Saturday. Oh, anyways, I went there intoxicated just looking for some binge alone time. Turns out it's off the chain. People be all awake and laughing with groups of friends. Then there was just me. And looks like White Zombie replied to that with just a bunch of periods. I don't blame you, buddy. Pure Potential continues saying, running mascara and putting half on debit, half cash. Zapter says, alone in a crowded room. Yeah. Pure Potential says, hurtin' like a motherfucker. Sophia, you take risks, Pure. Pure Potential, LOL, LOL. Kenny, unimpressed face. White Zombie, you may be cute. Nomad, Ruts, expressionless face. White Zombie, but you are a dummy. Nomad, get it together. Sophia, who is? Pure Potential, bah ha 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 ha. White Zombie shakes head. Nomad, Soph, if you have to ask. Zapter, that Burger King near McMaster used to be like that after hours. Sloppy drunk chicks wolfing down whoppers in short skirts with their legs hanging open. Oh boy. Well then. Sophia, I was asking Zom. Really? That's what you're going to call White Zombie? You're going to call them Zom? Alright. Anyway. Pure Potential. On a side note, I don't like steak there anymore. It was really chewy. I wanted to throw it up quicker than I normally would. The fuck's this chick talking about, man? Shut up. Fuck. Zapter, when that $2 drink bar Billy Bob's was open. Pure Potential. LOL, $2 drink. Shit way. They are closed now. I think I remember hearing about that place. Zapter, even the Burger King is gone, I think. A fella named Sky. Is that a fella? No, I think it's a chick. I don't know. Fuck. This person posted a link about Indian sexual predators. Saying, send Bob's official video. Yeah, I've seen that video. It's really good, and you should actually watch it. Search it on YouTube. Send Bob's official video. Pure Potential continues saying, rip Burger King. The Dundurn McDonald's is equally as sketchy at night. Zapter says, McMaster campus is nice, but the area sucks for students to walk to bars or after hours. Sophia, Zap looks 25 now. I forgot to tell him. And that means... It means he gets to date 22. Zapter says, Sophia wants the D. Sophia, just as he always wanted. Smiley tongue face. Zapter says, Brandon is 22. Sophia, no. Pure Potential, oh my god, Zap. You got so ripped. Sophia, is Brandon interested? Zapter, 22 is kind of old though. Pure Potential, are you a gym rat now? Sophia, he did, Pure. Zapter, I'm a celibate Christian now. Good on you, sir. Good on you. Pure Potential, hot. Sky, LOL. Fred Quimby, which is Brandon. Brandon is 22 today. Sophia, many people lose weight, but it does not always look good. He looks like he has always looked like that. Mr. Gutsy, Sophia and Brandon make a cute couple. Zapter, 19 to 22 females with daddy issues, hit me up. Fred Quimby, tomorrow he's 23. Sophia, okay, enough compliments. Otherwise, he's think I want his tra-la-la-la-la-la. Zapter, 23 acceptable since you're still a virgin. Sophia, guts, he is too young for me. We have so much in common though. Vandalized, what's a good dog park? Pure Potential, Zap, I went drinking at Dundurn Castle a couple of nights ago. Fell down this forestry hill and then got chased by a crazy homeless man in a tent with a branch cutter. Okay. Vandalized. Anyone know? Mr. Gutsy. Wow, Soph. Sophia. Vandal. Hug. Pure Potential. And lost my iPhone. Wow, Pure Potential is quite a lady, isn't she? Sophia. Hug. Vandalized. Soph. Fred Quimby. Actually, Mr. Gutsy. Way to dismiss him for being too quote-unquote young. Fred Quimby, tomorrow I'm 24. Sophia, wow, what guts? Fred Quimby, today I'm 22. What the fuck are you talking about, Brandon? Shut the fuck up. Jesus Christ. Anyway, Mr. Gutsy, he's 24. Pure Potential, just wanted to update you. Fred Quimby, a leap year, folks. Zapter, There are some weird vagrant creepers around that area down the hill street, the bayfront later on at night. Vandalized. This damn dog has too much energy. I need to find a nice dog park I can chill at. LOL. Kenny, yawn face. Pure potential. Yeah, I had no idea. Sky, leap year overnight. Zapter, or weird Chinese guys fishing for nasty catfish during day and the filthy harbor. You see that hockey player drowned there a few days ago? Ray Emery. Really? Pure potential. This guy gave me a couple morphines, but I only took them because he was gay and I knew he wasn't going to try anything funny. Jesus fucking Christ, lady. The fuck kind of life you living? Wow. Anyway, Zapter, never seen someone swim in the Hamilton Harbor in my life. Sophia, well, the last person I dated was 26. When I first met him 3 years ago, I saw it as a big deal in the beginning. Sky, he was a damn good goalie too. Rip. Zapter, gay people can still abduct you and sell you for cash. Yeah. Pure potential, LOL. Sophia, he's 29. He did not have to grow up while I was watching. Mr. Gutsy, Soph, was it the Guyanese dude? Pure potential, true. Zapter, Ray had a bad coke problem. Fred Quimby, gay people are probably the only ones that kidnap you for money. Okay. Pure potential, Rip Ray Ray. Zapter, he could have been great for a long time. Mr. Gutsy, Guyanese, question mark. Sophia, no, I have never dated Guyanese. Mr. Gutsy, married, question mark. Zapter, Sophia is in heat. Fred Quimby, Zapter, you're sounding like Bob. Sophia, Guts, why would I date married? Confused face. Pure potential, yeah, my head started pounding, then I puked up my sub. I don't think I looked sellable. Oh my god, lady. Jesus fucking Christ. What a class act you are. My goodness. I don't know. Who am I to talk? I fucking take shits in tin boxes and give them to people. Anyway, Zapter, there's a market for classless and sloppy. Yeah, you can get away with that much easier when you're a female. Mr. Gutsy, every Guyanese guy that's married dates. Duh. Fred Quimby, as long as you don't make a habit out of it. Mr. Gutsy, jokes. Sophia, well, they sure cannot date me. Pure potential, LOL, LOL. Fred Quimby, I'll have to flip a coin to decide whether or not to take you in. Zapter, like that pig farmer in BC who killed all those junkie hookers. Oh, I think I remember that guy, actually. That guy was fucking creepy, man. Yeah, I think he had like a skullet. Fucking farmhouse full of corpses. Damn, dude. Yeah, anyway, Fred Quimby. Or let you go with a ticket. Oh god, pig farmers. Pure potential. Did he feed them to pigs? Fred Quimby. How do pig farmers even get caught? Vandalized. In Toronto, 50% of married people have cheated on their partner. Damn, that is a concerning statistic. Jesus. Sky, LOL, what? Mr. Gutsy, eyeballs. Zapter, if someone is killing themselves, they probably feel more justified murdering them. Pure potential, ugh, I wish I was going to Radiohead tonight. Wow. Sophia, back home, a married owner of a pharmacy I worked at was always trying, and every time he tells me I was pretty, I replied, oh, bless your kids, snicker. It's a common phrase in Arabic. And then he says, you are so evil, keep reminding me of my kids. What the fuck? Alright. Vandalized. How is reminding of your kids evil? If anything, say that is evil. Fred Quimby. Vandal, that's because there's a saturation of hotties amongst the uglies in Toronto. Vandalized. Raised eyebrow face. Sophia. I never really responded to married men's attempts, no matter how attractive. Mr. Gutsy. Sophia. You should have laid out the halal bacon for him on a silver platter. Sophia. Because he was making attempts, V, And I was trying to tell him that he has kids and I do not sleep with married men. Got it? Vandalized. My baby is passed out on the hardwood floor. Sophia, tongue face. Vandalized. LOL. Sophia, halal bacon. LOL. Vandalized. Yeah, I was saying that he said about his kids is evil, not what you said to him. Oh, this is getting really dull. I want to hear more about Pure Potential's lifestyle and her questionable lifestyle choices. I don't want to hear these two fucking boring assholes like small talk. Let's see if we got anything else here. It's kind of slowing down. Yeah, not much else. Not much else. So I think I got one more fucking message, and this one is going to be pretty epic. It was sent pretty late, so I didn't read through all of it. So this was sent to me by Kelstar, and it's a pretty long story, but it should be pretty good. She even included pics that I'll put up on the podcast, so you can see them. So let me just fucking dive right into this. All right. So Kelly says, okay, well, we kind of discussed what kind of story you wanted or whatever because I was unsure of what to send. Anyways, here goes. This is the story of a car crash that happened basically in front of my house. I believe it was November last year when I was sitting in my living room and I heard a really loud bang. I went to look out my window and I could see the lights of a vehicle. So I went to go put my shoes on to go outside when I could hear my neighbors screaming as loud as possible, "Call 911." I had my phone. I went outside and I saw this pretty awful car wreck. My neighbor was at the car already telling these kids help is on the way. I ran up to him. I was already on the phone dialing 911. I then looked in the car. I saw two young kids, probably about 20 years old, and they were both unconscious at this time for the most part. One of them was in and out of consciousness, it seemed. I was explaining to 911 how bad it was, and they needed to get here now. Because, yeah, it was pretty fucking bad. You could hear the sirens within a couple of minutes because the fire station isn't too far away. Suddenly, the driver of the car came to a lot more and started to try to get up and get out of the car. I'm still on my phone with 911 at this point, and I'm telling them this kid is conscious. He's trying to get up. I'm trying to keep him down where he is to wait for help. Both of these kids' faces literally smashed holes through the windshield. This kid was covered in blood pouring out of his face. His face was split open. It was a pretty ugly sight to see. This was a little beater car and had no seatbelts in it. Anyways, he kept trying to get out of the car, and 911 was very adamant on the fact to keep him there if possible. So I tried to block him from getting out of the car, and I kept making him sit back down. Eventually, he kind of got past me because he just wanted to stand up, and I said, fuck it, I'm going to let him. Maybe he'll realize how bad he is and just sit back down on his own. Not the case. He wandered around a little bit saying, what happened? Where am I? We kept telling him where he was and what happened. He was in a bad accident. His buddy is in really bad shape, still unconscious. Paramedics are on the way. Please just sit down and wait. You could see the flashing lights coming up the street, and then this kid panicked. He tried to start to leave, so my neighbor followed him and convinced him somehow to turn around and come back and just get checked out, which he eventually did. While being checked out by a paramedic, he then freaked out again and started running away. This kid ran for his life. The paramedics were quite worried because of the gash on his face and how much blood he had lost. I was actually already covered in the kid's blood from trying to keep him in the car in the first place. The other kid, like I said, was in pretty bad shape, and there was paramedics dealing with him as well. Because it's a small community that I live in, people know people, and the neighbor who was first to help them at the crash, his kid knew who the driver was and where he lived. I knew this kid was in really bad shape. His face was split down to the bone. You could literally see it every time he wiped the blood from his face, saying that he was okay, which he did quite a bit before he ran off. So the neighbor kid and I took it upon ourselves to go and find him. I honestly thought I was going to find this kid laying in the snow somewhere half dead from the amount of blood he had already lost, but he didn't. But we didn't. We found him at his house. The neighbor kid and I got in my car and, not even joking, followed this kid's blood trail through the neighborhood to see which way he went, just in case we did find him laying somewhere in the snow. But ultimately, like I said, find him at home, which was about 2 blocks away from my house. We pulled up, and this kid is looking out the window, face all fucked up, and he's still freaking out. The reason he's freaking out is because he did not have a license, and he was extremely drunk. He basically thought he was going to go to jail. I walked up to his house, which he actually answered the door, and he kept telling me he was fine, he's fine. I said, man, you're not fine. Like, do you see your face? His drunk little retarded girlfriend then came out of the house screaming, saying somebody beat up her boyfriend. Look at his face, he needs help. I laughed at her and I said, no, your boyfriend just crashed his car and his buddy is in way worse shape than he is over on my street, and he needs to go back to get checked out. She then started freaking out, saying he's going to go to jail. I told her he has a better chance of not going to jail by returning to the crash site and dealing with paramedics properly instead of running. I told her him running away is only going to make things worse. A few other random people I didn't know came up who were thankfully sober. I explained to them what happened, and we all kept trying to talk sense into this kid to come back and get some help, because his face was so fucked up, as well as, I'm sure, the rest of his body. I quietly looked at my neighbor kid and told him to go walk back and get the paramedics, bring them to us. He did this quietly so the fucked up guy didn't freak out and try and run away again. I stayed there and kept trying to talk sense into this kid, and he kept telling me, no man, my face isn't that bad, don't worry, I'm okay. I just need to put my face in the snow. It feels really, really warm. And I just need to cool my face off. I'm okay, I'll be fine. I asked him if he had seen his face. He said no. I said, well, you should. I asked him, would you like me to show you? Here, you can look at my phone. I'll show you with the camera. He said, okay. Oh, fuck. Originally, I tried to use the front-facing camera and let him look at himself, but it was dark and he couldn't see it very well. So I said, I can take a picture of you to show you. Sounds like an excuse to me, Kelly. It sounds like an excuse. It sounds like you just wanted a picture of this guy's fucked up face. I don't know. But it's a really good picture, so I can't blame you. Anyway, continuing on. He said, yeah, go ahead. It's not that bad. I'll show you. It's not that bad. Take my picture. So I took his picture. Everybody that was standing around literally gasped as my camera flash lit up his face, and they could truly see how bad it was. I pulled up the picture I just took and I showed it to him, and he kind of went, oh, fuck, and then still kept arguing that it wasn't that bad. Oh, fuck. In this time, the neighbor kid was gone to get the paramedics. I happened to notice them coming around the corner before a fucked up kid did, and I tried to distract him so they could come walking up to him and help him. Well, he noticed and he panicked again, started to freak out, literally went to run away again. So I grabbed him, I put him down on the ground, and I held him there until the paramedics came, which was only about 30 seconds. He was trying to punch me, kick me, anything to get me off of him, but I knew he needed help. He really did. The paramedics came up and I let him stand up with their help, but I kept holding onto his jacket because I knew he was probably going to try and run again. At this point, there were so many people around, he didn't have a choice but to cooperate, and he finally just let them help him. I looked at a paramedic and said, I'm done. I was covered in this kid's blood. I was done. They thanked me, and I walked away to my car, covered in blood, and drove myself back home. By the time I got back home, the other kid from the car was already gone in the ambulance, and police had arrived and were taping off my street. I went inside, scrubbed myself down, changed my clothes, sat down on my couch, had a cigarette, and thought to myself, that was pretty fucked up. I mentioned before I live in a small community. People tend to talk and know other people's business, so I tried to stay updated on what happened with these kids. The passenger who got the worst of it was in hospital for a couple of weeks and later died from his injuries, sadly. The driver who caused all the issues and ran away like a little bitch lost his eye, and last I heard is on the run from police because he was the driver and his friend died. He is facing numerous charges and doesn't want to go to jail. So yeah, I've included a couple of pictures. You can see where their faces went through the windshield. And you can also see the picture that kid let me take of him. I guess this is kind of a fucked up sad story, but after all, this is the Cringe Carnival. Don't drink and drive, kids. Damn, that was good. That was good. You know, I was hoping like I was going to get more stories like this in my inbox, but not so much. It's okay though. Um, yeah, man. I mean, you know, like I said earlier in the podcast, I have 11 whole subscribers, so you know, lots of people listen to this. It's an extremely popular podcast, so it's definitely going to help this kid get caught. You know what I mean? Anyway, this podcast is just about done. Yeah, I don't think I have much else to say. Um, I just wanted to end with there's this script. This script I found that was written by a robot, apparently. Yeah, let me bring this up here. So there's this tweet from a fella named Keaton Patty. And he says, I forced a bot to watch over 1,000 hours of diners, drive-ins, and dives, and then asked it to write a diners, drive-ins, and dives episode of his own. Here's the first page. Yeah, so, yeah, man, that's the show hosted by, you know, the Guy Fieri, the guy with the stupid hair and sunglasses. Anyway, so this fucking script, quote-unquote script, that was written by a bot is actually pretty hilarious. So I just wanted to end the podcast with this. So it goes on. It says, in parking lot, Guy Fieri sits in a convertible. He looks like America. Guy Fieri. I'm Guy Fieri, and there's nothing you can do about it. Today, I'm eating it all. Guy takes a bite out of his hair. In diner's kitchen, Guy and a chef stand in a kitchen. Guy has 3 pairs of sunglasses on. The sun can't get him. Guy Fieri. Prove to me you can panini. The chef starts boiling a pot of milk. He's scared. Chef. Flavortown is near. Guy points at an onion with his slippery finger. Guy Fieri. That's one ugly clam. In diner's eating room, a customer sits and eats a cup of mustard. Guy sits down without asking. Guy Fieri. I will live as a food. I am a food. Customer. Be a pie. Guy acts like a pie. The customers aren't concerned. Guy Fieri. I am Pie Fieri. It is my birthday. The chef comes out of the kitchen with a cake for Guy. Guy Fieri. The clams just keep getting uglier. Oh, that's good shit. You know, for some reason that script actually reminds me a lot of Kefir. I don't know why. It's like, it's kind of like the same way he speaks when he's in Canada Chat. I don't know. Anyway, that's all, folks. Hope you liked it. If you didn't, that's fine, man. Okay, bye. See ya.